Y'all are reading me like a book.
Miss Beyond Beauty Star.
I was a different gal last week. I'm gonna be a different gal next week.
Nope.
Nope.
We haven't talked about me for a minute, so.
Why are we shitting on you for that?
No, the comments will be.
All of a sudden, YouTube just cuts right now in this video. It's like,
Ramble.
Pretty basic.
thank you to Stamps.com for sponsoring this episode of Pretty Basic.
Hey guys, welcome back to Pretty Basic. This is a very exciting episode because, Remy, tell them who we have.
Today we have Miss Beyond Beauty Star.
Was it 07?
I was driving here and I was like, I'm going to say it. Do you hate
I'm so
it?
glad you did.
Do you hate it?
No, I love it.
Oh,
it's a part
good.
of my past, you know?
It's who formed you. You don't bite the hand that
Yes.
feeds you. We have Miss Claudia Sulewski here in the studio today. Yay!
Hi guys. Oh my God. I was so excited and honored and blushed that you guys asked me to come on again. Because this is my second time, but the first time was via Zoom.
Yes.
Which just doesn't feel as official as today does.
Absolutely not.
I feel that. You were our first official guest ever on the pod. We were literally FaceTiming. I think we all had no makeup on. Like, it was 2 years ago, maybe?
I think we were
Yeah.
sitting in like my little old guest room, right? We'd sit on those little blue chairs and we'd sit. Oh, what a sad time.
But if you didn't know the joke that was very hilarious that Remy said, your original YouTube username was Beyond yeah.
Beauty Star.
Yes. Why was it a thing that back then it was so trendy to have almost like porn star names?
Oh, wow.
I mean, honestly, like I think if I started an OnlyFans, it would be Beyond Beauty Star.
BBS. That's so cute. Oh my God.
BBS is giving like BBL.
It's
like,
giving BBL,
it's in that
for
world.
sure.
It's giving
Absolutely.
energy.
Oh my God. Wait, I love
so
this idea.
funny.
What was our favorite? Like, what usernames come to our mind when we think of that era? Obviously, Beyond Beauty Star.
Juicy Star 7.
Obviously.
Star 7,
How-
Hot Brilliance.
I was a Lolu Fully Loaded girl as well.
Yeah.
I love all of them.
It was like such a thing. Like, it was so cool, so cute. I remember making Mac Baby 11, which was mine. And I was like, I will never regret this. And Baby was BBY.
Obviously.
Because it was really cool. Are we aging ourselves or sounding more cool? I don't know. But back then it was such a thing. At some point, there was a time where people started realizing, oh, we should like change our usernames. You still haven't.
I've never changed mine.
But
And I've
yours is
decided
good.
mine's Miss Remy Ashton. And I've decided when I get married, I'm just going to change it to Mrs. Remy Ashton. Isn't that so good?
iconic.
Isn't that so good?
That's so
Wait,
I'm
good.
keeping it.
You try to get the handles now.
You should.
Before you
They might be
You're
gone.
so
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Someone I've already mentioned this. Someone definitely has it.
Yeah, they're going to be like, pay $20K.
I'm going to have to pay so much money for it.
You guys, I have a theory bubbling in my brain.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, like, there's only so many combinations of first names and last names. I feel like the world of having these quirky usernames with numbers and stuff, like, are they going to come back because everything is going to be taken? Like, all of, like all of the John Smith or
Yeah.
like any like simple name.
Yeah.
Are they all just going to be taken? So then it's going to have to be like John 212.
Underscore.
I hope so.
Or,
I
don't know.
really do.
You know?
Like an AIM screen name kind of era
an
again.
era.
Maybe it'll come back.
That'd be good. I love it. I can't wait. Well, welcome back to the pod.
You guys, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is also the cutest. I'm overwhelmed. I'm intimidated.
Thank you so much. Don't be
A
intimidated.
big step up since the Zoom, honestly. It's a big step up, which just feels like yesterday and also like 20 years ago all at the same time.
I know.
I think, wait, I'm going to look at my brief because this is what we talked about the last time you came on. Last time, we discussed OG YouTube transitioning from YouTube into acting and buying a house and moving in with Phineas.
Oh my god.
That's what was going on in June 2020, it looks like. What has changed and how have you changed since then?
What? That's a loaded question.
Heavy hitting questions right off
Here
the
for
bat.
2 hours.
Okay, how's it been living with Phineas since June 2020?
Okay, so living update. Honestly, amazing. Like, truly, I feel so lucky to live with someone who has the same priorities in terms of like how we go about our days, what are the priorities, enjoying, you know, the simple pleasures of life, going out and grabbing coffee and walking our dog. I feel like we're so in sync in that way, and also know how to respect each other's space and boundaries and be like, all right, I'm going to go upstairs and do my thing. You're going to go downstairs and do your thing. So often I'm just like, it's amazing that I found this roommate that I also have sex with and love him so much. And you're the best roomie ever. Like, that's what it feels like.
Oh, I always tell Cal, I'm like, we're roommates. Like, this is so much fun. I love it.
It does feel like playing house, which is really, I mean, literally what we're doing.
You've just got like a built-in best friend. It's the best thing ever. I always have someone there when I want, and then when I want to be alone, I can be alone.
Yeah.
It's so great.
You were trying to be an actress at the time, it sounded like, right? Aspiring, transitioning.
Yes.
I feel like we've also done that because of what is happening right now.
She's a movie star.
Gosh, she's a movie star.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I do have a movie that is already out by the time this episode will be out, I believe. Oh my gosh, I should really. Let's
fact check that.
Okay, so August 5th, it will be out in theaters.
Oh my God.
And then August 12th, it will be up for streaming. So rent, purchase, all those things.
That's so
You're
quick.
going to be in a movie theater.
Insane.
I know.
Are you
It's
so
wild.
excited?
I am so excited. It is such because at this point now I've seen the movie a few times in theaters, just through South by Southwest, or there was a Chicago Film Festival that I also took my family to. And that truly was like a childhood dream, just to sit in a theater and watch something that you're really proud of and just it's so cool.
And it won an award at South by, right?
Yes.
That's actually insane.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the Instagram post, I was like, what the fuck?
No, I was like, oh, damn.
That's
like, this is a good
crazy.
movie.
I know. It won the Grand Jury Award and it won the Audience Award.
Oh my, no way.
So
Chills for you. I'm like so excited for you.
Oh my God. And it's called I Love My Dad.
it's called I Love My Dad, and quick log line.
Yes.
It is about an estranged father who tries to reconnect with his son and rebuild their friendship, their connection. And he does that by accidentally catfishing him. And it's based on a true story.
That makes it so much better.
The star of the film directed it and wrote it, James Morosini. There's a lot to unpack there.
And you are the love interest.
Yes. So I play essentially two people, because the character's name is Becca and I'm a waitress that helps out the father, who's played by Patton Oswalt.
Stacked cast, by the
So,
way. Like
stacked
Rachel
cast.
Dratch. Like
I know.
insane.
Lil Rel Howery. Oh my gosh.
So
it's
crazy.
such a good cast. I know. And everyone is so sweet and so funny. And oh man, I mean, if we break down any part of this, like I'm just so grateful for everything that came together and how it came about and all that stuff. But anyways, yeah, so he creates a Facebook profile based on this waitress. And so half of the film, I am a real girl working at a diner, and the other half of the film, I'm an imaginary character that just sort of like essentially poofs into existence.
Yeah.
So while the father and son are talking to each other, you're seeing me manifest physically in real life, because
What's
the
in
son
dad?
thinks-
Very cool.
Oh my God.
so I'm the dad, basically.
Oh my, was it hard? You are basically playing two completely different characters. Like, was that hard?
It was, of course, challenging in its own ways, but at the same time, it was so fun to play around
Yeah,
with,
I bet.
because when you see the movie start to finish, there's such a contrast between the two characters, and I really wanted to do that and execute that successfully, because one version is this imaginary girl that's saying everything in the way that this horny, young adult is imagining a girl, how she would be saying all of these things that are just coming in through text messages. And so I really wanted to play up the sort of idea of a woman and what about the way that she moves and acts and all these things, like how, because he's essentially just falling in love with her, right?
Yeah.
And so it was fun to play around with that, with also the added information of I'm actually his dad too. So there's a bit of mind tricks happening and a little condescending and all those things as well. And then just getting to play a version of Becca that is so like, what is going on? I don't know you. You know?
Wait, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I would say on the surface level, it is a comedy, but it has so much heart in it, because it's essentially a story about a father and a son and their relationship. And then through that, it's hyper cringe and like just teetering onto horror based on like certain scenes.
Oh my God.
I mean, guys, like
I cannot wait to watch
wherever
it.
you think it goes, it does.
Oh
It goes
my
there.
God. Oh my God. I feel like for you, like if I was you playing that role, my biggest fear would be that when Becca comes on the screen, the audience may not know which one is it. So you really have to like separate so that it can be so clear, like, oh, clearly this is the dad
Yeah.
versus the waitress, Like that's crazy.
Very interesting. And how was the audition process for that?
So the audition process was, I mean, just as standard and normal as anything else I've booked in the past or just how it normally goes. Ever since the pandemic, everything is now done through self-tape or through Zoom.
Do you prefer? Oh my God. I love hearing about audition processes because I would never, because I like would cry myself to sleep. But I think it's so interesting.
It is, I have like a love-hate relationship with self-tapes because on one side of it, I really miss going into the room because you get that FaceTime, you get to talk just before, just after, the energy, exactly. I miss that so much. But of course, with that comes a lot of nerves and adrenaline and sort of that risk of I might totally brain fart in the middle of this one shot that I have, right? And that's happened. Oh yeah, that's happened.
my God.
And you just gotta like pick your ego back up and you're like, can we just start that over
You're
again?
like,
I'm
hold
so
on,
sorry.
I gotta pick this up.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've definitely had some horror stories with auditions. But then with self-tapes, it's tricky because it's a beast of its own. You're having to set this up. I feel so lucky that I have great equipment to do it. I've got lighting, backdrops, all those things. Not that it needs to be this big production at all. They always insist that
lighting.
it can be on your phone. Like you don't need a big camera. But of course, finding a reader, whether that's hiring a coach or bullying Phineas to help me or bullying a friend, like the amount of like guilt that builds up where you're just like, oh, I've hit up this friend like 5 times in a row and it's all been self-tapes and we should really be going out to dinner, not making self-tapes. It's weird.
At least with an audition, when you go in, you're super nervous, but when you're done versus self-tape, you're like, I can do it better. Just like YouTube, you're like, I can do it better. Like, wait, let me do that take again. And then I'm assuming they don't want any cuts, right? Like one full take, like,
one full take.
Oh my God, that sounds so stressful.
So yeah.
Are you ever worried with the self-tape that because you feel so comfortable on your own and you like fucking nail it, and then if you book it, are you like nervous going on your first day, like, oh my God, like now I'm not alone anymore? Is there any stress in that at all?
There isn't, because for me personally, self-tapes are such a different world of its own, or even auditions. I'm putting that in the same category because you don't have the environment. You don't have cast members. You don't, there's so much that being on set gives you naturally, and you don't have that in the room. And so, I'm like putting a little post-it up with a smiley face to mark my eye line for this character. And then I'm going to, look at the reader for that character. And there's so much that you just kind of have to like make believe and pretend that is there for the auditions that, at least luckily in my case, like getting to then book the role, you're just so much more excited to have all those things in front of you. And you're just so grateful because, I mean, the biggest part of our jobs as actors is the self-taping and the auditioning. Like that's the job. And then when you book it, you're celebrating. Yeah. You're going on set like, hi,
very
honey.
true.
when was the audition and how long after that was when you were on the pod?
Oh my gosh. The audition was in 2021. So it was
A whole
almost
year
like
later.
a whole year later.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it started as a self-tape, and then it was a callback, and then it was a Zoom session with the director and a few of the producers, if I can remember. And then we did another director's session, and those kind of lasted longer. I think at least like an hour or something. And a lot of that is just getting to know each other and trying out different things. And then I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later, I found out I got it.
Oh my God.
And we had exchanged numbers during the session and emails, and I didn't save the number because, you're like, okay, great. Yeah. And then I remember when James called me, I didn't know who it was. I was out to breakfast and he calls me in like a panic and he's like, Claudia, could you do this? And I'm like, what? Who? He's like, James Morosini. I love my dad. I'm like, yeah. Is this for the same role? He's like, yes. And everything sort of happened within the next 12 hours. I was like on a plane.
Oh my
had
God.
packed for, 5 or 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
And the contracts and everything had to be figured out. And yeah, so it happened so last minute.
And I'm assuming that's just normal though.
That's what happens. Yeah.
That's exciting.
How
but
exciting.
crazy.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who are actors and they, they're always doing the self-tapes. They're always sending that stuff in, but they're like, yeah, you kind of really just wait around. Like, I don't have much else to do. Christina, a good friend, like she's made, her dog is famous now on TikTok and Instagram, like, because she's like, I don't really have that much else to do.
Right.
But literally overnight, your whole, like everything can change for the next 4 months. You have to go to
Drop
Canada
everything.
or something like that.
Yeah.
That, how do you like balance
That is a mind trick. What you're saying is something that I was, for lack of a better term, crippled by. That is such a dramatic word, but yes, it's sort of like having to prepare and plan for something that is not guaranteed, and you don't actually know if anything is coming, and it's this weird in between feeling of like, well, should I even plan a trip or a job that far ahead? Because what if I book a movie and what if I'm gone shooting? And you just can't live your life that way, because you can always change a flight. You can always rearrange things. But I think, one of my shortcomings is wanting to have a plan and I enjoy sort of looking at least the next few months and having a good sense of if there's any travel coming up and whatnot. And so there is this sort of surrender and sort of, I don't know, you kind of just have to keep your life, you just have to keep living your life, I guess.
Just go with the flow.
Let go.
You
try your best.
Exactly. You can't plan for things that aren't even solidified or there. And so you just got to keep living your life and just kind of trust the process and trust that when the right thing comes, it comes at the right time. And thus far, I feel like life has really taught me that with the bigger kind of life moments, is that sometimes like the timing of things just really works itself out. And you just kind of have to be like, okay, I'm so grateful this fell into my lap.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, I mean, if we're now going into a more larger existential kind of conversation, I fall back and forth on the whole, like everything happens for a reason, because at the end of the day, like we're surrounded by so much tragedy and chaos with what's going on. I mean, all around the globe that I don't even know, like, I feel like it's maybe ignorant to even say that everything happens for a reason. So I don't know what that is, but sometimes things just fall in the right place at the right time, and you just got to look at it and be like, shoot, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that was great perspective.
Yeah, but
Really, really good perspective.
I don't know. But do you guys feel that way in terms of like things happening for a reason, or is it
we always sound like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, when you're like crying and having like a breakdown, you're like, it's okay, it's happening for a reason right now.
But no, I think it was so much easier to grasp, like, even 4 years ago, 5 years, like, you've felt more peace about it. But yeah, with more shit just going on in the world, it makes you like question all of that.
Yeah.
And it even makes you like, even just when some people have gone through so much harder shit than you, you're like, wait, like they had no chance.
Yeah. You're like, no, life is actually not fair. Life is the opposite of fair.
No, yeah.
I think one really healthy way of approaching that is like maybe not necessarily believing that everything happens for a reason, but more so when things arrive in your life that feel more like lessons or, downhills, pitfalls, whatever, it's allowing yourself to look at that as an opportunity to grow from that thing, or to change your perspective or open up your mind.
Yeah.
I feel like that with age, I've learned that because shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit is going to happen to all of us,
Or even like when shit happens, sometimes I'll think of like, I wonder if that will greatly affect in a positive way, like my kids or my grandkids, like maybe that one thing of you moving to LA, like let's say that totally didn't work out or whatever, like a huge breakup happens, like something happens and it feels like it's horrible. But then like, because of that, prime example, for instance, my dad, his first wife, he followed her out here to California. He's from Illinois. They got divorced. It was horrible, blah, blah, blah. But then he met my mom out here. Like I would like little things like that. You're like, wow, like it all does.
Butterfly effect.
Yes. Insane.
Yeah.
I'm a take it day by day kind of person. I can't even think about tomorrow. I'm just like, focus on today, get to sleep, and we'll worry about tomorrow.
We were just talking about this. We were just before recording. We were like, so how are we all doing, and how are we all really? And like, it's just day by day, week by week. I'm like, I don't know. I was a different gal last week, I'm gonna be a different gal next week.
Part of me wonders, is that just the way that it is now because everything's online? Is that because of what I do? Is it just a mix of all of it? Like, there's times where I'm like, what was yesterday? And I'm like, that can't be healthy.
I think for me, I only have enough. There's only a certain capacity in my brain that I can remember things. And I feel like when there are more, whether it's personal life things going on or just like something going on in my life, then schedule, whatever, like anything that doesn't matter as much gets thrown out the door. And then once that's settled, I can go back to worrying about my schedule and caring about those kinds of things more. Because right now, usually I'm a schedule person. I know what I'm doing for the next month every single day. Right now, I couldn't tell you what I'm doing tomorrow just because there's so much going on in my personal life.
Mental energy, like that we mentioned earlier too. And I feel like that's something this year I'm learning too, because like it's so mental. Like I'm mental.
Definitely. And to what you were saying about social media just constantly changing and evolving, I feel like we're in a time where there is so much documentation happening. So much. That I don't know. And that's like, I recently shared my last YouTube video.
Yes, I want to talk about your last video.
Yes,
so good.
Videos. So, you know, we can get into that whenever.
Yes. I'm ready.
But one more time. When is the movie coming out? Let's wrap up the movie convo.
Okay, so movie is probably still in theaters as this episode comes out, and in 2 days it'll be up on streaming platforms, which I believe is like Amazon, Apple, you know, just Netflix, where you rent and purchase movies. So oh my gosh, I'm so excited for the world to see
I'm
it.
excited for your tagged photos to just be like,
oh
you want to
fucking
like that's so cool.
There's so many things that I'm geeking out about, and that is one of those things where I'm really excited for that.
So cool.
So yeah, I love my dad. There's the promo.
And scene. So good.
Scene.
Okay, so we all know the stress that comes with running a business, from feeling like you need to be in 2 places at once, and that is obviously not physically possible. So Stamps.com is absolutely amazing because they basically wipe away all the stress and the feelings that you have about going to the post office, because you can do it all from home. Stamps.com is your 24/7 post office that you can access from literally anywhere. You can skip the headache with Stamps.com.
Stamps.com saves you time, money, and stress. For more than 20 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses. If you are a small business, if you have an Etsy shop, no matter what it is, like this is a little hidden gem that will honestly get you more orders, because you have more time to fulfill orders and not be stuck going to the post office. All you need is your regular computer and printer. There's no special supplies or equipment. Plus, Stamps.com seamlessly works with Shopify, Amazon, Etsy, eBay, and more.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, going to the post office is the one thing that I always put on my back burner. And it's like the last thing I ever want to do. So it's amazing because whether you're in office sending invoices, or an Etsy shop sending your products, or a warehouse shipping out orders, they basically make mailing and shipping a breeze.
Oh, also, they have free priority mail envelopes and boxes. So you're up and running in minutes, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send it.
Don't mail and ship the hard way. Sign up with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code BASIC for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts.
Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code BASIC.
No, but anyways, I feel like there is such a pressure of, I guess like, I would say influencers or online creators, but I feel like it's now just a thing that so many people are doing because TikTok has opened up, I think, even more people into creating content and having that interest, that like there is just we're seeing so much of everyone's lives.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I've heard many people talk about the whole Instagram story thing where you're like, why do I know what this person has done every single day this week when I haven't talked to them in like a year or something? You know, it's just like this emphasis on like everyone's life, and
like everyone's bored of it. Or like, or not stimulated like we were, but yet we also, like the amount of times I refresh my social media like mindlessly, and I'm over it. Like in my head, I'm like, this is so boring. And I'm like, then put it down. Like, put it down.
Back.
Yes. Like it's clearly, I mean, we obviously, you saw The Social Dilemma, I'm assuming. Oh my God, so fucking good. I was like, me, addicted. Yep, me. And as a creator, what's weird, I think I mentioned this on a recent pod, but like I've always encouraged so many people. I'm like, oh my God, like you can do this, do it. And as things have like changed and more people are becoming creators, I never once thought of how will that affect my viewers? And I think I never, like, cause back then there were like a few hundred main creators, and I didn't anticipate everyone feeling burnt out of content. Like, I never thought people would be like, I'm over everything. Like, in my head, I was like, no, everyone can do it. There's room for everyone. But I never thought of from a viewer perspective. Yeah. So lately, when it comes to even me watching YouTube, I'm like, oh, like everyone's thumbnails look the same. Like, I'm not into this. Like, I already know, like, I'm going to click it and then be bored, and then my attention span's going to be gone. Like, that's been very interesting for me, because I fucking love YouTube. Like, I always have, always will. But it's been weird seeing how, as myself, a viewer, like, has changed with things.
I have a question for you guys. So I recently watched a video from Tiffany Ferguson. Do you guys know of her channel? She does like these analysis type videos, and she's just so articulate and thoughtful with her topics that I love watching her take on things. And she uploaded a video recently called "Why is YouTube Feeling Stale?" Or something along the lines of that. And I just agreed with everything she was saying. And then I was even looking through the comments. So I don't know if this is something that Tiffany said or if it was a comment, but someone commented on the fact that now with all of these different platforms, horizontal, vertical, suddenly like there's this pressure to capture your life in all these different formats, being like, you know, whether this is horizontal or vertical, like this is specifically giving TikTok, this is specifically giving YouTube. And then it's like, oh my God. So that was kind of what also kickstarted this whole just a force of change that I want to give myself, where I don't know, I've reached 13 years of YouTube, and I was 13 when I started. And so I've like officially lived just as long before as I have with YouTube, which is really wild to think about, because
that's unheard of. Yeah. That's absolutely unheard of.
What was life before? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was it? And also, your first 13 years, let's talk about the first half of those years. You're just a little baby, you're a little kid, you know? And so it's been 13 years of adulthood and teenage years and all of these like
formative years.
Yeah. That truly, I don't know what it's like to not always be thinking, oh, this is something that I should vlog. Okay, this is something I should bring my vlog camera. Should I bring the vlog camera, or should I bring the bigger camera? That doesn't fit my purse. Okay, I can change the purse. Like, there's just, it's every day. It's constant. And it's not even, I don't even want this to come across as complaining about what our jobs entail. It's more specifically the fact that like your brain never really switches off.
Also, as you're such a good storyteller, that's a different level of, okay, what's the last thing I said? And then I'm going to say that like the transition is going to be like this. It's going to like flow. Like you're editing in your head when you're filming versus there are creators who just film whatever and then they figure it out. Yeah. So I think that does make it, not that you're complaining because you're not, I do think that makes it extra hard.
An extra level of exhaustion for your brain.
Yes. And I think, in terms of like everything we've just been saying about like the pressure of just like filming so much of your life, or just how much content there is right now, I think the thing I've realized is like what my insides, what my heart is really craving is this proper separation. Because I mean, I've vlogged for, you know, so many years now, but specifically when the pandemic hit, I stopped uploading on my vlog channel and essentially merged the two channels together on my main channel and created this sort of elevated vlog.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And during COVID, it was exactly what I wanted to do, because similar to you guys, I wanted to create this sort of safe space, this safe escape where people can still just kind of like take a little mental health break.
Which I hope you know you did.
You absolutely did. Absolutely.
Like me and Ashley watch you all the time. Like even in the depths of very dark days, like yours were one of the vlogs both of yours, honestly. Any cooking thing you did, I was like, oh my God.
I know you mentioned the word formulaic in your vlog, but like I found so much peace and like calmness, and I found solace in that formula personally.
Yeah. So hoping you know that you successfully did that.
Absolutely.
I think that's the hardest part, where you're like, well, I wanted that and then now I don't want that anymore. You know, like being willing to change.
Yeah. And so I've stuck with that formula for so long, basically from then until now. And for a while I loved it because I was like, oh, this is what people want to see, and I can live my life and film the things that I'm comfortable filming.
Possibilities are endless.
The possibilities are endless. I can talk about anything. And then also I was getting like the thing that I love so much is editing, and I was finding ways to kind of itch that scratch by having these stylized intros and then the transition bits and finding ways to curate and make the content feel elevated. But I think what that morphed into was just, it's a mix of a few things. I think for starters, what I started realizing is that I've just been like really craving privacy for the first time in my life. And I don't know if that's maybe certain things that are going on or just even the things I think about and I talk about with my friends in relation to therapy and working through childhood trauma and like things that
like a deeper level.
That maybe I don't necessarily want to air out that dirty laundry online. And so then you're kind of left with like, what do I talk about, you know? And I related so much to the episode that you guys recently put out talking about
my breakdown.
It's such an iconic episode.
You know what's funny though is the next we had an episode to record right after that, and all my makeup was fully off. So now we have full makeup and a whole set for both of us in case that ever happens again. But
like little did we know how much that was going to impact people, because we started talking about it on just the drive over, and we're like, oh, pinning it. We'll just chat about this in 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it was like crying, but it's amazing.
I loved that you shared all of that, because as a creator, I related to it so much, and I think as a viewer, it's really like cathartic and wonderful to hear, because I think everyone is feeling burnt out in some sort of way, whether it's as a viewer, as a creator.
Yes, all the feedback I got was that. Like, I didn't expect a lot of viewers to be like, I feel the same way. And so, and of course, we just got out of like a crazy 2 years, which is still crazy. Yeah. So I know we need to be gentle on ourselves that way. Yeah. But it's still like, I think just, I don't know. I think what's hard is, like you were saying, you're wanting privacy because there's people throwing their opinions and everything at you. And even saying like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, everyone says, oh, well then quit. And it's like, no, that's just not that simple. It's not that simple.
No, it's not, because also there is this, you know, it's very clear that for us, we all have so many things happening, but of course YouTube is a huge part of our careers and how we pay the bills and how we help fund all of the other things that we do. For that reason, and also just the pure reasons of loving YouTube and doing this thing that we've done for so long and the pride that comes along with that, I think that's why I was really careful with what I was saying, because it's maybe not even necessarily I want to take a break or stopping altogether. I think I just realized, oh my gosh, I've been making this content for so long. I'm so safe within this realm. I'm so comfortable. I can do this with my eyes closed. Yeah. And I just don't, in this avenue, in this lane of my life and career, I do not feel like I have grown or evolved in a very long time.
Especially as a creative.
Yeah.
You know, the way that acting probably is fulfilling for you.
Yeah.
Where YouTube isn't, you know?
100%. And I think the other thing that I touched on was like, there's something really specific. I'm trying to gather my words. There's something like happening with when you upload a vlog, it appears as a very intimate thing, because it can be as intimate as you want it to be, right? Because we all have any sort of natural filters or things that we don't want to discuss that we do, etc. But I think my issue too was like, because I knew that all of my content as of late have been vlogs, but there are so many things that I'm not comfortable sharing. Suddenly the idea of myself and what is kind of being perceived from the outside, I'm creating this censored
like a facade.
Yeah. And it's like, but the thing is that the moments that I'm capturing are not a facade. They are genuine.
But it feels that way.
But it's like, because those are the only things they're seeing, it makes it seem like that's it. Yeah. You know, all I'm doing is I'm doing Pilates in my office and I'm gardening in the backyard and I'm taking my dog on a walk. And I just started realizing, like, I don't think these parts of me are the most interesting parts of me. So why don't I just say this, for starters, because otherwise I'll just continue on this, you know, hamster wheel forever, because it's easy and I've found comfort in it. Why don't I just get it out on the table and talk about it and force myself to reimagine like what YouTube can be? And because at the end of the day, we can do anything. We can upload anything. So I don't know what that looks like yet. But the thing that I'm craving the most is content that is not circled around
your life,
my life.
Part of me was wondering, not do you regret merging channels, because I think that was one of the smartest things ever. Do you miss like main channel type videos that are more like sit down, like more topics and stuff? Like that's what I can I'm like, give me a what's in my purse.
I would love a what's in my purse.
Okay,
I
if
would
we
be
all
so
upload
happy.
them the same day, we can bring it back.
We can bring it back.
Yeah.
Let's tag in the comment or in the description box.
Like how Mr. Beast does the team C's and like
Video
everyone
response.
uploads. It's like we get all the OG people to upload a what's in my purse.
Would that like scratch your itch though?
It's like
what's in my purse? Like, is that what we're thinking, or like what in what realm?
I mean, honestly, maybe.
Okay.
And that's why like I don't even feel like I'm steering too far away from like what I think people love about my content and my channel. I'm definitely not trying to like, I don't know, reinvent and rebrand and all these things. I think it's just like I would like a video to have a purpose and a focus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny. From our side, I feel like I see you as like a true influencer. Like if you were like, guys, this is the best dress ever, I would buy it. Like, and like even as being an influencer, I'm like, okay, do you actually like I'd text you being like, okay, but it actually should I spend, you know what I mean? But like I see that pure, like genuine, that genre of lifestyle of like fashion, beauty, like tips, big sis stuff. Like you could always do advice stuff, but it doesn't have to be about you. But I see that with vlogs, because we're all doing vlogs and it's our life, and it does feel fake, but it's not fake, and you don't want to present it to your viewers that it was fake, because then they're like, wait, so we don't know you, and then you're like, no, I promise it was real, but like I still feel like
you're just scratching the surface. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I think I'm having a brain fart. That's what I'm thinking.
No, you're good. Do you regret merging them or no?
No, I don't.
Good.
That was certainly the best thing that I've ever done for my YouTube career, because I think I'm a bit stubborn and I don't like to delegate. So I still edit my videos, and for that reason, having 2 channels was just becoming a lot for me.
Yeah.
And especially because at that time I wanted to vlog, and I pivoted and I changed, and I'm so glad I did. And I can do it again.
It's so hard though.
I know.
I really think the longer I've done this, and I know it's not just because I feel like we've done it pretty successfully, but I truly think being willing to evolve your content, like that is so much harder than just going viral, especially now. Like when a lot of creators blow up overnight and they're like, oh yeah, I'm the hot shit, I'm like, okay, do this for like another
longevity.
Even just 2 years, 4 years. Like, and I used to be, were you ever embarrassed of being OG? Because I was for so long.
Oh my gosh, of course.
Oh my God, isn't that weird? Like we're now, I feel like it's a superpower. I'm like, damn, I've been here a long time.
Yeah.
Where before I was so embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, you know, I feel like I don't know if you guys feel this way at all, but for me, certainly there was a point in time where a whole new kind of wave of creators were coming onto YouTube, and their numbers were insane. They were super high.
Like Team 10 era, is that what we're thinking? Okay,
and
that's
so
what I'm
then
thinking too.
you're
When
like,
all the Viners came
I'm-
over.
Yes. And you're like, I'm OG, but I have like 2.5 million subscribers, which
Yeah.
is so many people.
Yeah.
But there's so many creators that have like 10 million.
Yeah.
And they just started
Yeah.
like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's strange, but I think we've all learned, since for doing this so long, we've all learned that like it is about the relationship that you have,
Oh my God,
and
yeah.
it's not numbers at all, actually, which is,
Do you
interesting.
remember the time, I'm sure you do, when brand deals stopped caring about subscribers and then they started caring about views?
About views.
Isn't that crazy? Where now it's like ROI. Like they're like, okay, I don't care how many views it gets. I care about how many sales you make. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
It's weird seeing how it has
They're
changed
catching
that
up
way.
with us.
I know.
They're getting smart.
But I have 8 million followers.
Yeah, it is really interesting though. But I will say, like, even in the comments of your vlog, I'm sure you went through them, but they were so supportive and just like, and it's such a true testament that people just will watch you for you. They've been following you for 13 years.
Yeah.
You could, I know everyone says this example, but like you could eat a bowl of soup or cereal and people would watch it. It's true. People
my
just want to
God.
watch you for you. So you could do whatever you
What
want.
if that was my pivot?
Do it with cereal reviews. Try it.
Wait, just do one.
I hate to break it to you. You will get good views on that.
my God.
It's true. It's true.
Just get like an ASMR mic and just like.
Oh my God.
Actually, you know what? Like,
The
can I
Yeti?
just borrow this mic?
For sure. Honestly. So you don't have any idea of where you want to pivot though?
I have certain ideas. I think like I just want to put attention on whatever I guess I'm actually enjoying doing and exploring. And one of that is definitely curating outfits. So I think my next video is going to be super just fashion.
Can you style
focused.
us? It doesn't have to be for video, but you should just style us. Like,
Oh
that'd be
my
so fun.
God.
You can come in
Okay.
our closets, like put together, be like,
Okay.
no.
Wait, I'd be
like,
so interested to see
film
that.
it like docu-style, like someone following you. Like, that would be so good.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check.
I'm like
Video idea.
nervous because
No, I
I've never
love
done
it.
that before.
No, I love it.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
But you are like, you've been a style icon since you literally were
Yes.
13 years old. Like,
And-
I'm not even just saying
No,
that.
you-
Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Bitch, the blue room with the mirror. I remember it all. Like, just everything. I feel like that'd be so good. You just have so many avenues you can go
Also,
down.
I feel like there's stylists, but obviously it's so much more real to like have your friend come over to your house and help you
Yeah.
make an outfit. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that would be so good. Bring
I'm-
back outfits of the week.
I would love to do an outfits of
Be
the
like
week.
a realistic.
But I think it would actually do very well
Yeah,
for you. I
it would.
really
I think
do.
so too.
I think you need to create content, obviously not even based on how many views you're going to get, but
Yeah.
you are
hard.
such an it girl. We were like, before you came in, we're like, oh, she's so cool.
We're like,
we'll
she's so
never be that
cool.
cool.
I know.
But it's true. Like, you're just so effortlessly cool. And like, you know, people are like obsessed with your style, obsessed with literally everything. Like, people are going to flock to it no matter what you make.
Oh gosh. I think it's like the thing that's exciting is like I'm sort of like prepping my next video to be this sort of fashion related video, and I'm already thinking about like how can I make the editing me but also different at the same time.
It's always more
and
simple.
I'm like I'm getting yes,
it's
definitely.
always more simple.
Oh, yes. And that's been like so exciting because I'm like going to bed thinking like, okay, I could like sit on a stool and like film that. And that would be like half voiceover. That would be half just kind of weave through the video. And then we do that. And then, you know, and I like, yeah. So that's how I know I'm headed in the right direction for me personally.
You're
As a
excited.
creator, because I'm excited again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with the editing, like just a simple font change, it's like all
Yes.
new to you. It's
Everything.
I feel that on so many levels.
Also, that's not to say you'll never do another vlog, because you're going to keep
No.
doing
Yeah.
vlogs at some point when you want
Yes.
to.
Even if it's something like I've always loved kind of like these very casual, like unnarrated vlogs where it's more like, here are like moments of my life this month or something. And
Yeah.
it's just like a beautiful kind of like vague just compilation of clips that, you know, maybe like the focus was how it was shot and the composition of each frame, and you know, that's what the focus is, and it's less talking in front of a camera and just being like, all right, so what can I talk about in this video that's not going to upset the sponsor and that's like not going to upset anyone because it's not controversial. You know?
Literally. And then you're just stuck in the same, you're like, okay, there's only so many times you can garden or, you know.
literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like,
I get it.
You're like, let's check it today. Nothing's changed.
God.
You're like, oh, I think there's a flower.
There's a new tomato. Oh my God.
Remy, I'm invested in your garden.
Really?
Your garden is like literally a store.
No.
It's a farmer's market.
By the way, did you take some tomatoes the other day?
No.
Oh, there were a bunch gone after you left. I was like, thank God she took some. No. I've been trying to just like pawn them off on people. There's far too much for me to keep
Oh my
up
God, I
with.
should have.
I thought you did.
No.
Okay, good to know. Thank you so much.
Do any animals like get in there? Like, are you covering them at nighttime?
No, I think animals get in, but I'm so happy they're being fed. I like find some like remnants on the ground. I'm like, yay, the squirrels are fed. I'm fed. We're all happy.
You're like, someone's eating it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm willing to
know.
share, but I love it. I just need like something to do. I need a
Yeah.
hobby.
Yeah.
And that's my hobby now.
You know what kind of helped me? I did a solo.
You know what helped me actually?
I
Now that
know
we're
what
talking about
helped
me,
me.
we haven't talked about me for a minute. So
Why are we shitting on you for that?
no, the comments will be. I totally zoned out and had an ADHD moment.
no, you're fine.
Did
so
you
sorry.
take a solo trip? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yes.
I was thinking for the creative, I took a solo trip and I was like, okay, Alisha, just make a video, but like take your time editing it. Like be creative, like think about, and I felt like it was a fun challenge for me. And obviously you don't have to go to New York, but you could, or what else gets me going always is a new camera. Like
You guys, I just bought a new camera.
Whatever gets you excited. That's it.
It's funny how it like,
Y'all are reading me like a book.
But your vlog your most recent vlog reminded me very much of your New York video, where you just need to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to be a massive change overnight. either. It's just like telling your audience how you're feeling, keeping them updated. And then you can do like little minute changes, or you don't even need to necessarily change. It's just keeping them updated. And like, it gave me very similar energy.
But it's
both
the same
videos.
energy. Like, you don't want just a little garden. You want a garden.
I know. But like, it doesn't have to happen overnight, because
get
once you did that video, you felt very much like you had to have these drastic changes in your next video, but it could just happen very slowly.
Yeah. I know.
But I get it. I do get it. Okay, before we move on, we want to first off say thank you so much to Macy's for being an amazing partner of the show. You guys know how much we love Macy's here at the Pretty Basic Podcast. They have you covered for literally anything that you could imagine. If you're looking for clothes, if you're looking for shoes, maybe some fashion advice, they have everything, and they're always on top of the latest styles and trends. They also have like home essentials, goods. They have the best gift ideas if you are shopping for anybody in your life. And also, if you have an event coming up, maybe, it's like wedding season right now. Everyone seems to be at weddings. Of course, there's always holidays coming around. And basically, they have you covered for everything you could ever imagine.
The smell of a Macy's makes me feel so happy, because it just reminds me of like
nostalgia
of that time. I don't know. I love it.
Truly, there's nothing more fun than going to a Macy's and seeing all the different makeup counters and everything like that. I just found out that Creme Shop is at Macy's, and we love Creme Shop, obviously. But I love getting all of my glam needs, whether we're looking for like high end or maybe like a lower price point. They have everything that you could possibly imagine there, which is perfect to have you covered on all bases of your face.
I think it's obvious that we are beauty lovers. And if you are also a beauty lover, listen up, because from August 12th to August 21st, Macy's is giving you a whopping, get this, 50% off daily beauty offers, plus more great deals online and store. They got it all. But the catch is that it's only for 10 days. So make sure to check it out, Macys.com/10 days of glam, before it's too late.
Go forth and live your best glam at Macys.com/10 days of glam.
But new camera.
I recently just bought one of the like 4K Sony camcorders.
Hot.
Because I've been loving this Sony camcorder that I bought for like $200 on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like very low quality, but in a cutesy, you know, in an aesthetic way. And I just loved the relationship I had to that sort of like body of camera. Mm-hmm. It just felt
the slow zoom.
Yeah,
it's less.
Yes. I don't know.
The only thing I miss is the wide lens for like flipping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what else has been
Selfie
fun
stick
is playing with different cameras too.
Different cameras.
Yeah. So I have like my vlog camera, and then I have like that one. But then I was getting my bangs cut, and I literally had like 5 cameras with me, and I was like, I miss this. You know? I was like, I miss this.
Must document it all.
I'm like, I'm back.
Oh, that's very sweet. I'm so glad that you felt excited about that, because you just saying that right now just gave me anxiety. Like,
oh my God.
Being like, all right, so I should prop up the iPhone for a TikTok and then have this camera for this and this and this.
But it wasn't for different platforms. It was all for the same video. So I was like, I have my VHS one. I have my vlog one. I have my digital camera, which I'm going to like take, you know what I mean? It was very like, ooh, what do I want?
Yeah. I'm excited for that series. Is it called Becoming 30?
Almost 30.
Almost 30.
And what's fun about this is I don't even have the second episode done. Like normally in my head, I'd be like, it has to be fully planned out. I don't, and I'm like, okay, Alisha, you're turning 30 in April, so you better like figure.
You
like,
got time.
No,
you got 8 months at least.
I'm at this rate, a video a month. But like it kind of makes it more fun. Like, okay, what's this one? Like a blank canvas. Someone always said this to me, and I wish it stuck. Like I say it, but I know I need to believe it more. Like each video is a blank canvas, like blank.
Yeah.
Blank, and you can do anything. Like. But in our head, we're like, okay, there's the intro, there's the body, there's the like, hey, outro, bye guys. And then a lot of newer creators who weren't in that mindset blow up because they just get straight to the point. And we're like, wait, what? Like I want to do like a class or workshop or like meditation thing that like rewires your brain of like, like thinking outside the box with things. And I feel like video creation has been one of the things that I always struggle with. Cause I'm like, no, this is how you do. Or, oh my God, when I first hired TK years ago, she was like, oh my God, you should do this video. Let's say it was a outfits of the week, right? I'd be like, oh my God, no, like those don't do well. And she's like, what do you mean? They do so well. And I'm like, wait, like what? Like, so to reprogram my brain that a Q&A doesn't mean I just don't have a video to upload and I need to put something up. Like it was so interesting having someone younger telling me what was like more in, because I'm like, wait, but I am scarred from doing Q&As and them getting like no views, and it just felt stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's, specifically with Q&As, that one is interesting because also I feel like there's such a shift in the way that people title and thumbnail things as well, because I feel like during our kind of come up, your title needed to describe exactly what the video is advertising.
Yes.
You know, you'd write Q&A, personal questions,
My
family
virginity.
drama,
Yes,
virginity, and first kiss,
Yes.
and more.
Yes, yes,
You know?
exclamation point. Q&A number 6.
Literally. And like now you could make a Q&A and just have like a simple thumbnail, and the title could be like, loving strawberries. Like, I don't even know. Like, it could be something so random. And it essentially, like, I think we've all reached the point. We have earned this, what is the word? Where it's like, people are interested in just whatever you've
like
made.
a badge of that.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like this badge of honor where I don't feel like I have to pitch myself in the title.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Fucking like, I'm just going to make it whatever, you know? I kind of did that with my last one, except it was also a dramatic title because it was like, something needs to change. I think that's what I titled.
But I like that it was within a vlog though, because normally I would have thought to put that as its own
like
standalone video and like so dramatic and like that it would have been only that clip. But I love that it was interlaced with all other clips of just like a normal vlog, and it felt so much more natural.
Yeah.
I showed that clip to Phineas because I was a little nervy about it. And there was a sponsor in that video, which
Were they okay with that?
so he was like, are you sure you want to put that?
You're like, it'll get more views.
Well, I'm like, if they're smart.
Literally, the amount of times I feel like brands will say stuff, and I'm like, I'll do what you want, but you realize like this is
really gonna
be a banger.
some attention. But they loved it. The feedback was so great, and I think maybe the reason why is because it was just a really honest clip.
It's authentic.
Yeah, and it was just like it honestly was a personal update. Like that is what it felt like, and that's what I wanted to treat it as, which is why I put it just in the middle of the video.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy that they were like, yeah, sure, because I didn't want it to be its own. I don't know. I was like, I don't need to be this dramatic.
It feels more dramatic. It feels Oh my God.
In the vlog you mentioned how you're just not into short form content, or at least is it making your own short form content? Because do you watch a lot of TikTok?
You guys, it's so back and forth. Like I said, different week, different gal.
Yeah. Today we're TikTok, Claudia.
Yeah, are we TikToking today or no?
Oh my God. When you're in that mood, you have to bulk film.
I know. Exactly. I don't know. Okay, I did. Here's my issue.
Yes,
okay,
tell us.
Because with TikTok, I'm so back and forth. Right now, I'm in a phase where I'm watching it. I'm enjoying it. Specifically, like I'm in like the fashion world of TikTok right now. So it's just been like so fun as a viewer to watch TikTokers putting different outfits together or reviewing looks of celebrities and stuff. So that's like what my For You page is right now. But okay, so I did an experiment and it failed.
Oh shit.
And I'd love your guys' take on this, or if you've ever felt stuck like this. But there was some TikTok I posted while I was at home in Chicago, and I had so much fun making it that I was like, you know what? Let me just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I posted like 15 TikToks, all very timely. Maybe it was one a day or like, but I really did it. Right. And I think cause not that numbers matter, but I was just like, it was an experiment.
Yeah.
And I think I'm like really close to 1 million. So I was like, I feel like this will take me home.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. And I think across those 15 TikToks, I only gained like 1,000 or 2,000 followers.
Interesting.
And it just like shot me right back down. I was like, oh.
It really just depends though, because you could have put those 15 up maybe this month and it would just skyrocket. It's just so random.
It's random.
We can never know. I have a friend who's a big TikToker, and she was like, oh, she does YouTube, but she mostly is on TikTok. And she's like, just post 5 times a day. Like as if it's like, whatever. Because she just sets her phone up and talks and talks about whatever. She cuts fruit and talks. Like that's all she, But she's just like naturally great at it. Right. But she also makes YouTube videos, as I said, and she's great at that, but she's just like a talker. And I feel like that's why she excels in TikTok. We're so,
edit.
Yeah. We have
give it a
YouTube brain
point.
for a decade.
Yes.
I can't do it. Yeah. I can't.
A few things. One, when it comes to TikToks, do you still edit them in Final Cut?
I do. That's why we're not growing, guys.
It's an OG thing.
Because it's taking us a whole day to make a TikTok.
Yes.
Okay, did you guys like my TikTok app for like 5 days, it updated itself, and it was kind of working like the Splice app where you can split clips and edit. And I was editing right on the app, and then it went away.
Okay, but it took me for, I was like, how do I move the music over?
I mean, to be honest, though, I also like doing it on Final Cut because YouTube wants you to do shorts and Instagram wants you to do reels and TikTok wants TikTok. So then I just have at least one file I can upload across. But like, it's too much for my small brain.
It's so much.
Too much.
So my feeling with it now is like, even though I haven't posted a video yet since the last one, there's been like this, I was just talking about it this morning with Phineas, but like there is this weight off my shoulders where everything that we've done thus far, whether it's hosting like a brunch and cooking a bunch of like food and hosting friends, like normally I'd be trying to film that, you know, and it's been so nice to just live my life knowing like whatever my next video is, I'm going to put aside an entire day to film that video, and that's the video. I don't have to worry about documenting my life. So my hope is that that is where TikTok can come in and I can just start like recording vertical content, you know?
That sounds actually fantastic. That I just feel like ease for you currently.
Good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Like, yes.
That sounds really, really nice. I'm at ease for you, honestly.
Yeah, I'm excited for that separation. I think that's really what I was craving.
Do you have days where, like, if there's dinner or a thing like, do you feel like you always have to film and have pressure, or are you able to say, okay,
this
I'm
one
not,
I won't, the next one I will? Well, the issue is like I'm such a home content gal, right? I get the majority of my content at home. And what I started noticing about myself is like I would get an invite to dinner, and the first thing I thought of was like, oh, great, amazing, because I need a shot that shows that I'm also leaving the house, so I'll be able to get like a you know. And then it's like, of course, I forget once I'm there because I'm actually terrible at vlogging with friends. But that was like, I was like, I don't want that to be my incentive to see people. Is like, oh, I definitely need some variety and variation through my vlog footage.
I feel like Rem does a great job at that, but it's just because you're like, I just vlog when I want to.
I know.
Where I struggle with that a little more.
You've got a good relationship with YouTube going. I love it.
Thank you guys.
Thank
you. I think it's a personality thing though. You guys have very similar personalities.
We're just like second guessing everything. We're going through a crisis. We're like,
I will say I also struggle with delegating, and I was working with an editor for a while. I ended up taking it back over because I realized I was like, that's my creative outlet. No wonder I don't feel connected as much. Where Rem's like, take it.
I haven't touched a video in years.
Like, but she doesn't care.
Couldn't be bothered.
Really?
Couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
But it's also because you guys are good editors. If I was good, maybe I'd like it. But I could maybe do a rough cut. Like that's all.
But I think it's that
put some music on.
Like you laying in bed knowing what you want the shot to be. You can't explain that to someone. Like you just can't. But what I have delegated is having someone help me with TikTok. Like she'll send me ideas. I'll even just randomly, I'll film clips on my phone. I put them in a shared album, and then she'll edit it together with the sound. And the comment, it says what sound to do, and then I'll upload it. Like, and that I'm like, cool. Like, just I love. Like, she's been killing it, and that was something where I'm like, that's worth every penny to me because I'm so overworked with everything else. I couldn't even try to take that on if I didn't have help doing it. Yeah. So like, that's one thing. Highly recommend.
Oh my god.
It's also important to remind yourself that like, people are just YouTubers. People are just TikTokers. People are just podcasters. Like you're doing a lot.
Why do we feel like we have to do everything?
I don't know.
The platforms make us. Oh my god.
I know.
I'm sure you've had calls too. Like they're like, okay, do this, go live, do this 8 times, and you're just like, there's no way. And I think we've just come to a point where we're like back in the day, the formula to grow was like make sure to be on the platforms, and do all these different things. And now, like, there's gonna be a YouTube Shorts influencer, and they all only do that.
There's like Facebook influencers. Oh my God, yes. It's so interesting.
We went on a brand trip. This is the most crazy story we tell everyone.
Okay.
We went on a brand trip in San Francisco with Benefit. We're talking to the different influencers, and this was our first one post-pandemic. Like we were like, wow, it's been so long since we've even been on a brand trip. So we ask everyone like, oh, what's your YouTube channel? First mistake.
No one was a YouTuber. No. I think we were like maybe of like 5.
Then we quickly learn after day 1 or 2. Oh, we ask what's their TikTok.
What's your platform?
They'd be like, oh, I do TikTok. Then I go up to someone so confident. I go, oh my God, what's your TikTok? He goes, oh, I do Facebook Live. And I was like, shut the fuck up. What?
There's a whole other one we didn't even know about.
He's like, it's an untapped market, blah, blah, blah. Like when I tell, full time, he was like, yeah, I hate editing, so I just go live. And I was like, I don't know what this is like.
That's a whole nother level.
Yes.
Okay, so not to be creepy, but I like know this story somehow. I don't know if it was like a past episode
God,
or
probably
like
was.
a YouTube
Probably
video or
was.
something. But I remember this, and that is so crazy.
It's just, so point being, going back, there are just going to be people who are famous on TikTok. Like, I think that era of like one influencer dominating them all, unless you're literally Mr. Beast hiring 90 people, like there's literally no way to do it. Especially when it is so personal.
Yeah.
Do you work all on your own? Is it just you currently?
It's just me. Oh, this is what I was going to share. The other day I was on the phone with one of my agents because we were chatting about the video, and she was like, so, YouTube Shorts could be something that maybe could take less of your time, and you could do that. And I was very like Michael Scott about it from The Office, where I was like, nope. Oh
my God.
I was like, don't even say it.
I think it's just so like we can't go from YouTube for a decade to making YouTube Shorts. Like we can maybe do them occasionally, but like we don't want to be Shorts people only. Like we physically can't.
I think also what's hard is there's been many times platforms come to us and they say, do this, it's going to be the next thing, and it's not. Which, granted, I do believe vertical form is not going away anytime soon.
Right.
However, it is hard when like when YouTube came out with stories, I was like, okay, like this is going to make me, and it did nothing. So that mental energy of trying to do different things, all on top of it, having so many TikTokers come to us being like, you do YouTube, that's the end goal. And I'm like, what?
Whoa.
Because they have so many followers, but it's not transcribing to YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's very interesting. And I definitely feel older.
I think the things that I wish YouTube and Instagram focused on, because I feel like they're both seeing what TikTok is doing, and they're like, oh, well, let's just do that. Let's do some reels. Let's do some shorts. Like, people are loving vertical content. But I think the thing that people love about TikTok is like the discovery on it, or just the fact that like anyone's TikTok can be viewable to, millions of people, because their algorithm is just awesome. Yeah. It's very curated, and it gives opportunity for so many people to be seen by new viewers and new audiences. And the thing that I wish YouTube and Instagram did was not so much, hey, let's try to mimic TikToks, but instead focus on like, let's see, okay, the thing that we're known for, right? For YouTube, it's like long form content that's in horizontal. How can we reimagine the home screen or the recommended videos? Because I just feel like it is so hard to find new creators on YouTube. I don't know who is saying this. I really feel like I'm like saying someone else's blurred thoughts right now, but like my recommended videos are sometimes videos that I've like already seen, and I'm like, YouTube, what are you doing? I already saw this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same with Instagram. I just think it's become so much harder for people to see your posts on Instagram, because there's so many suggested reels and suggested posts. Like the feed is just, it's messy.
It's a mess. But I do think it's not like people aren't vocal about what they want. Like we want chronological order.
Oh my God.
We want a better home screen. Like we are saying it. I don't understand why they're not ever listening.
Have you seen the make Instagram Instagram again thing that's going around?
No, is that right?
Do you know
right
Illuminati?
No.
Oh my God, she's such an amazing photographer. You have to follow her.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian and Kylie posted it.
Oh wow.
And it's if you see it going around, it's like make Instagram again, like sign the petition, like we're over this, like don't try to be TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, do you actually like I hope,
especially as a photographer, that has to be really hard to be on Instagram currently.
She's so talented.
That's actually really sad.
But it's just like, I feel like every platform just wants to be the number one platform where everything is. But I'm like, can't we just all just be our own thing?
And just like embrace what has worked and what you're known for, and just finding ways to like evolve within that, because they're platforms. Like, you know what I mean?
My biggest thing that I've said so vocally to YouTube and on here is the shorts in my sub box. I want them gone.
Let's separate them.
Let's
separate them.
And they're working on it. But I'm like, just do it sooner. Like, do it sooner.
Or even like, I was like, okay, I'll try some shorts. Uploading them on my phone, having to go onto my desktop to change the thumbnail,
like?
to monetize. No. You have to go into your desktop to monetize the short. You can't do it from your phone, but you can only upload on your phone.
Also, you can only upload the thumbnail on the desktop.
Yeah.
When I tell you it is so stupid, and what the thing is it goes against every single.
All of a sudden, YouTube just cuts right now in this video. It's like, we've been silenced.
Just kidding. No, I'm like, if platforms were smart, they would literally, because I know creators would be willing to do it for free.
Yeah.
Like actually take focus groups and listen to creators. Like they do not do that. They don't care because they're like, well, like we're getting pressure to like really push shorts, and you're like, okay, cool, but like. We're telling you, like,
it's a dinosaur process. What you just described to me. I've never uploaded a short, so now hearing it,
Absolutely
I'm not motivated.
Michael
to
Scott.
post any.
yeah. And the only big plus I feel like is when people hit follow, it subs them to your YouTube. So that's the one really nice thing.
Right.
So what I'm gonna try, this is my experiment, is I'm having my old Truth or Drinks being cut down to short form.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna see, but I'm like, are people gonna unsubscribe when all 12 of them are uploaded at once, or like are they gonna be like, oh, this is your old content? Like,
Right.
I have to
what
be
I'm
honest,
trying-
I've unsubbed from quite a few people who do shorts.
yes,
I would never unsub from you, but
I
from
know.
quite a few
so
people.
I'm like, do I upload them at midnight when no one's online? Like that was my thought process.
And also, like, is that a relationship to shorts that people would be down for? Is like these bite-sized almost trailers for the main video? Like, is that something that would work? We'll see.
Yeah,
You
where
know?
Mr. Beast has a whole separate YouTube Mr. Beast Shorts channel.
No way.
Yeah, so there's a few other people who have done that, but then you lose the subscribe for that, and I'm like,
gotta
I
start
can't.
It's
Meanwhile,
really trial and error, though. Like, you won't know
Yeah.
until you try it.
I know.
This is true, but I also wish that the feature itself was more developed before it came out. Like, I feel like there was this rush for shorts and reels that they have to just like get it out so that people can start using it, but clearly it doesn't sound very user friendly, and it's not really like the relationship that viewers have to shorts. Like, it just seems like the whole experience has not been like thought through yet, and so right now it's still in this like beta version. I wish that was just like more polished, because whatever this is right now, like, people are very furious about it.
Yeah.
It's funny. We all have to laugh. Come on.
I know, first world problems, but it's just the mental energy, the
I mean, it's things that we all have to be mindful and conscious of, because our entire careers revolve around this stuff, and keeping your finger on the pulse, and
So how do you bringing this full circle for advice for other creators? Like, how do you feel like you have built a community with your audience?
Oh my gosh.
Because I do think that's everything.
That is everything. I think it's like, I mean, this is so cheesy and everyone says this, but it's just like whatever most authentic version of yourself you feel comfortable sharing, like, that is what you have over everyone, is like your individuality. And wherever you're showing that version of yourself, like, that is where the, I guess, like, intimate and where the loyal connections grow, I guess. Like, I think that's why TikTok still feels weird for me and YouTube feels so wonderful, because I feel like I've created my own little corner on YouTube, and we all get each other, and the comment, like, I just feel like safe within that community, because I've spent so much time like bearing my soul and growing up in front of these viewers. But then on TikTok, it still feels so foreign, and I haven't figured out how to show myself yet. One of the TikToks I posted was like an outfit transition that I had at Glastonbury, where I like wore one thing and then like fully just was wearing a completely different thing. And so many of the comments were like, whoa, this does not sound like you. Your voice does not. And I'm like, am I not making enough talking TikToks?
Oh.
Like, people were surprised by the sound of my voice. I was like, I don't think I sound different here. I don't know.
That's so weird.
Like, I wasn't sick or anything. Like, I would have, maybe would have been the answer, is like if I had lost my voice or something, but it was just my voice.
I will say, when TikTok first came out, my first few TikToks, I was talking like TikTok. I was like, this is this. And
Right.
Like,
there's a cadence.
I
There's a
think you need
tempo.
on Amazon right now.
5 things you need on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe that is part of, or maybe you feel more comfortable and like you're more yourself, so you don't have to be like on versus when there's a camera. I don't know. That is interesting.
But I think the advice I would give, like, whatever platform or style of content is of interest to you most, like, just, I don't know, go hard in that and find your lane and allow yourself to, I don't know, like, just be yourself. That's
No.
I don't know if that's good advice or not.
No, it absolutely is.
I just feel like that has been like showing, or that's been coming back to me, or I've been really noticing it as of late while I'm going through this kind of transition phase. Even just like hearing the feedback on viewers being really excited about I Love My Dad. It's just like it was the biggest confirmation in, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I've always just stuck to myself, whatever it is, even if it's a version of myself that I'm embarrassed to look back at now, right? But at the time, it was always 100% me. And I think for that reason, it's been like so validating just seeing like the excitement and reading all of the support that I've received through this kind of, next wave. And so, yeah, for that reason, I think that is like the thing that will stand the test of time is just, is like being yourself.
No, we say it all the time and we're like, we know this sounds cliche, but.
Yeah, because it's like you can say all these other things like consistency. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so much of that. And then anything that's technical is all just based on trend, I feel. Like just being aware of like how everyone is talking on TikTok or like
what fonts are outdated.
What fonts are outdated. Exactly. Like what are the thumbnails that everyone is gravitating to? Like that's all trend based. But like the thing that stands the test of time, I think, is just like authenticity. That's so what everyone actually wants, because why are we spending time on the internet? Why are we opening our phones and like going on YouTube?
Well, yeah,
we're looking to relate. We're looking for some sort of comfort, for relatability, for human connection. And whether it's like conscious or not, like I think that is what everyone's desire is. And also that should be the reason why you want to create content. Yeah. And I think for me, actually, that was when I realized, I need to switch my shit up, because as I'm filming these quote unquote intimate vlogging clips, I'm not actually feeling like I'm connecting or bearing my soul or anything, because I just realized I was like being very vague within the type of content I was making. So, yeah. I think I don't know.
I know. I'm like, I can't add anything else.
Did any of that make sense?
No, absolutely.
So
okay. I think the only reason you've been able to create content for 13 years is because you've been yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Otherwise, you would have burned out a few years in.
Yeah, I was thinking about this morning that I've actually I feel that I've never taken like a huge break from YouTube. I've definitely had to take accidental breaks, whether it's shooting a project and then just dropping off the map for 2 months or whatever. But I've never really had like
intentional,
like an intentional, or really like been burnt out and been vocal about it. And I think, I mean, if we're really just diving deep here, like I think I've like absolutely had so many, but I just like refuse to like let them rise to the surface, right? And so then you're like resenting the process. And I think that's what was happening to me this year, which is like I just kept suppressing this sort of resistance that I was having, and so I'm like, well, I gotta say something.
No, literally, that perfectly describes how I felt this year. I was like, I felt like the more that I realized, it's been so long since I've uploaded, it's been so long, that made it worse. And then I was just like, oh my God, it's so much worse, until I finally just said it. And then I was like, oh my God, it's not that bad. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know.
What are you doing to make yourself better this week?
Oh my gosh.
Like what day is it?
Oh my gosh. I know. Let's see. I mean, I feel like it kind of always goes back to the basics. Honestly, like I go through waves of like not using to-do lists to using to-do lists, and like realizing, all right, Claudia, like if you just write down the things that you need to do the night before, like you're going to wake up with a much clearer kind of like mindset and know exactly what to get into. Cause I don't know, I get so affected by my surroundings, and there's so much always happening in our household. We're one of those houses where like there are always people in and out of the house, whether it's like, we've got a house manager that helps us with any sort of like home projects or problems that need to be fixed. And so Dan is always over, and we're always having to consult on things. And I'm of course like a control freak. So I'm like, all right, so the way that the tile did this, I really want to make sure that we actually, and like, I get so like lost in the sauce of life. I feel that it's like, as a self-employed creator, it's like so important to carve out those hours, because when you do get lost in the sauce, you find yourself working at 10 p.m. and then you're like seeing your friends on Find My Friends all together at someone's house. And I'm like, shoot, like, it's not their fault. Like I can hit someone up and just be like, what are you doing tonight? And that's that. But I think just like finding, just organized days have really been bringing me a lot of like clarity, I guess.
Good.
What else? Being off my phone. Oh my God. The social media is like just like killing my soul right now. I don't know why. Just scrolling. I don't know.
It's always like, because obviously you have to work, but there's deep down when you're working and when you're
not working.
When you're not working.
Definitely. I like put those app limits back on my phone and I just keep pressing 15 minutes.
Me, I'm like ignore for the rest of the day.
I know. That's when you know it's bad because I'm like, I'm not going to get this notification anymore. Yeah. I have it back on and I'm like, what is this doing?
I know. Oh my God. I feel
it's just
that.
One extra step. Now I'm like, am I wasting my time? But
yeah. You're like, well, now it would be so much smarter if I take them off.
If I take it off because then I don't have to do it every 15 minutes.
I'm dead. That's so funny.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, you talked about having a future project. Can you speak about it or no?
Oh gosh, I don't. Here's the thing. Okay, I am working and building towards something that is entirely owned and created by myself, and I literally don't know when is the right time to say it because I don't have anyone to report to be like, hey, when can I talk about this? Like, I don't know.
It's all 100% just you?
Just me, baby.
I would wait.
It's taken I would wait. Yes.
Would wait.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking.
People get over shit so quick and then they're like, it's taking forever. Exactly. And you're like, you don't get it.
I'm like, no, I think I talk about it when it's like a week out or like a month out, maybe max. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that has definitely been like taking up a lot of time and also checking off a lot of like my creativity boxes in terms of like fulfillment.
Good.
Which is also part of the reason why I'm maybe feeling this way about YouTube, where I'm like, you know, having to kind of wear so many different hats that like it's unfortunate that like, oh man, I gotta film this clip and that's taken like the bottom of the priority list, you know?
I feel like everything else in your life is just creatively fulfilling you a step higher and YouTube's just lagging. So you just need to take it up there.
Yeah. But then those things aren't really bringing an income. So you have to be realistic with yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of times that like I will be having like a crisis in bed and I'm staring at the ceiling and I'm like, Phineas, I just feel like I'm just like living on I'm just repeating and what is this word?
Groundhog Day.
You know, whatever. Oh yeah. And he's just like, you need to remember that like the goals and dreams that you aspire of having with acting and all these things, like you have so much creative freedom with your platforms and anyone who's not in your position can tell you how jealous they are or how much they wish to also have that.
Yeah.
And so it's something that also like we've been doing this for so long that like, of course we're going to have these moments of being so over it and feeling stuck and feeling stale and all these things. And just like, I don't know. That's why I'm always saying like new week, new gal. I don't know because, you know, right now I'm feeling really grateful for it. And, you know, the other day I was feeling really over it and I don't know.
Ebbs and flows. Oh my goodness.
I feel, was this entire episode for us just like
a therapy session?
Yes.
I loved it though.
No,
I'm so glad.
Really enjoyed. I was like, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think
absolutely.
it's happening everywhere.
Oh my God. Oh, well, thank you. Like, you're welcome anytime.
Oh my God.
Anytime.
I'm going to check in on you next week. Just be like, how are we feeling?
Yes.
This week
how
good?
Are we feeling?
That's okay.
How
Whatever
are we
you're
really
feeling.
doing?
Oh my gosh, please do. You guys, this was so much fun. I will literally come back whenever you want. Like if you need a filler, I'm your filler.
We want to do a movie night though, because we have the link to watch the movie and let's all watch it together.
Oh my gosh.
Unless you're
busy and you don't want to watch it, we can watch it.
I have watched it 7 times.
Oh, okay. Does it get old? I'm sure it doesn't get old.
No, you're like saying the lines.
I mean, like literally, yeah. But the issue is like I'm not actively like watching on repeat because I'm like it's a great film. You can only watch yourself so many times, but every time I've been like, okay, so this will be the last time.
Yeah.
Because it was, showing my parents and then seeing it at this festival. It's sort of like I've been able to justify every time, and now I'm like, all right, I've officially seen it way too many times.
We're done. Okay. We'll watch it on our own and we'll just text you when we're done.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But let's do dinner. Let's
Yes,
do a little
would love.
courtyard,
Sounds good.
backyard moment.
We can help with self-tapes too, We can read, so
Oh
we
my
can.
God. Wait, that'd be funny.
Oh my God.
Is that all it takes,
Why-
just reading, or do I need to like have like? Is there infliction? Like, is there more that I should know?
I mean, essentially, it's just reading. Like,
can do that.
I mean, some readers go all out, and some readers just,
I would
just
commit.
lines.
I might stutter a little bit.
It's okay, character.
Oh my God. Well, pimp yourself out. Obviously,
Oh my
I feel like
gosh.
most people know you, but if they don't, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me just on my name. Everything is my name. So it's Claudia Sulewski. And that's about it.
Amazing.
Go watch I Love My Dad.
Yes.
Out in theaters right now and about to be up on streaming. That is so crazy.
That's actually so
can't
insane.
wait.
I can't wait to use my AMC Stubs account on this three times a week for you. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.